All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division, addressing something that I had said a long time ago, that I had heard a long time ago about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., and I am now going to bring it full circle because now a whole bunch of other people heard it. Yet, I'm not getting any apologies from the people that were going in on me about it. And that is Shane Mosely saying that Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford are familiar with each other because they had sparred before. And that's why he is picking Errol Spence Jr. Now, let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're gonna be in the 147-pound division and talking about something that Sugar Shane Mosely, the former 135-pound great, 147-pound champion, had to say about the Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight, and specifically, one of the reasons why he's picking Errol Spence Jr. to win. And that is, he's picking Errol Spence Jr. to win because he said that he had heard that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford had sparred in the past and Errol had gotten the best of him. And that's why he's picking Terence Crawford. He's picking Errol Spence. Now, let me tell you, I had heard that maybe 2 years ago. And I did a video and stated that I'd heard that 2 years ago. And I got lambasted by a whole lot of people for saying that I heard that that's what happened. Now, before I get into any more details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much, because that is exactly how we're able to continue to do it. Thank you so much for your sponsoring videos like this and the super thanks and coming by the live streams and supporting there. It really does mean a ton. Now, let's get into this. First and foremost, I do not believe that it is true that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. sparred before. Let me be very clear for the people that will probably not listen to this video at all and respond only to the title. Now, why do I not believe that that is the case? I do not believe that is the case because Terence Crawford's team denied that that was the case. They denied that that was the case. Also, I have had conversations with people in Errol Spence Jr.'s camp well before this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight was made. Had these conversations with people 4 years ago, 4 years ago. And when they discussed what they thought was going to happen in a fight and why they thought they would win, they did not mention anything about somebody sparring. They didn't. They did not say that. So that is why I do not believe that that sparring took place. However, the fact that I do not believe that the sparring took place based off what I was told by other people who are reputable people doesn't mean it's not true, because I didn't hear Errol Spence Jr.'s team say it was not true explicitly. And I only heard somebody on Terence Crawford's camp say it was not true, who quite honestly says a lot of stuff that I think is not true. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, because unlike and this is something that I really do respect about Errol Spence and I respect about Terence Crawford, neither one of these guys make a big deal about what's going on in sparring. And because sparring is just that, it's just sparring. And if you listen to fighters that talk about why they spar, or if you've ever been involved in tennis and know that people who play each other oftentimes will train with each other. They will often play matches with one another. And even in that scenario, when you're hitting with people and you're working on things, you're trying to work on cross-court short shots. You're trying to figure out how to push people back, take the ball off the rise, all kind of different things that you're trying to figure out how to do when you're working against somebody and you're in the same academy or you're in the same neighborhood. That's what you do. You're good NBA players, same way. They play each other in the summer in pro-am leagues and in different things like that. And you wind up where you got to try to guard somebody, but they again themselves are out there working on different things, or they may not be fully in shape, or there may not really be, or they may not fully be into it just that day. So whether or not that sparring session took place or not, to me, really doesn't speak anything about what is going to happen in the boxing match itself. Because number one, from Terence Crawford's perspective, if you're wearing 16-ounce glove, Terence Crawford can hit you with something that may not knock you out. Where if he's wearing 12-ounce gloves, I do believe you go to 12-ounce gloves at welterweight, but somebody in the comment section can correct me on that if they're still at 8 ounces, but I think they're at 12 ounces. They're not wearing your standard gloves that you would be having in a boxing match, right? Your gloves will be will be smaller, so those punches may land, right? You also may be working on your defense that day. And I don't put a lot of, even if they did, I would not put a lot of stock in it. In fact, one of the earliest stories that I've heard about sparring was one between Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. Now, this took place in the early 1970s, well before those guys fought each other in 1980, where Muhammad Ali was already well past his prime and Larry Holmes was in his prime. Muhammad Ali was sparring Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes, because was doing a good job against Muhammad Ali, was beating Muhammad Ali in sparring. And he left and he told somebody that Larry Holmes, should be the heavyweight champion of the world because he's destroying Ali in sparring. So the next time that they got in the ring, Muhammad Ali reminded him or told him that he heard that that's what he said. And Ali proceeded to try to beat that man beat him silly in the sparring match. Went off on him, wrecked him, and said, "Who's the champion?" And then he walked out the ring on him. That is not, so again, sparring, you shouldn't, and I mean this when it's anybody saying this stuff. Anybody saying something about Devin Haney destroyed Tank in a sparring match, or Tank destroyed Shakur Stevenson in a sparring match, or Greg Norman Jr. Destroyed Terence Crawford in a sparring match. All of that, at least in my opinion, is good, fun conversation, but does not say anything about what's going to actually happen in the fight. And that's the reason for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades, people did not share sparring stories, because it was a trust between people that we can get together and work on things together, but yet you won't use my name or that particular circumstance as a way to build yourself up and tear me down in something that is not even a real fight. So, I don't know about this subject anytime. I'm not giving it any type of credibility as far as what Shane Mosley says about what is going to happen in the fight. Doesn't make a difference to me. However, I just wanted to say that that's not something that I pulled out of thin air. That is something that is said and a rumor that had been around. Obviously, this rumor's been around because that's where Shane Mosley also had it. But again, like I said in the first time that I talked about this years ago, I don't know if it's true. But at the end of the day, I don't know if it even matters if it is true or if it is not true. There's literally sparring tape. You can see sparring tapes of Tommy Hearns lighting off on an older Muhammad Ali. Tommy Hearns ain't beaten Muhammad Ali in no boxing match. Okay, in the 1978, right around the time he fought Larry Holmes, I believe it was right around the time he fought Spinks, Leon Spinks. Tommy Hearns was not going to win the heavyweight championship against that man. He would have come up with what he needed to do to beat him. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.